Hi, alright. Nice to finally meet you. Come in. I've always loved the films Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, read when I was, I could barely walk. But I don't really watch TV shows. I play video games of the kind, so Skyrim and For Honor and that kind of stuff. I'm Jake, I'm from Great Yarmouth, and I've lived here pretty much all my life. In this house I've been here about 15 years. I'm 19 now, so been here long enough. I do security work. It's quite easy, and I also work at the school just down the road. It's kind of the same different work, just bigger children. I've always been brought up with history. My dad was very keen into his history. He never really followed it through, but I was always brought up playing war games, video games, D&D, plenty of board games and or the like. So I've always been into history, and we ended up falling on medieval in the end. So if you'd like to follow me outside, and I've got something to show you. So I've been with a reenactment group called Nanmar. In the summer I'm known as Sir Peter Dyer. Within Nanmar, the Norfolk and Norwich Medieval Association. Good knights in Nanmar can fight well, last long and make a show look good. Need to be able to maintain their armour and be able to act knightly around other people. We generally do tournaments, so it'll be an arena where there'll be two knights facing each other, and they'll get up and they'll fight, and we can have more knights where they just take turns, and then we have a big battle royale at the end. But it's generally to the first person who takes a knee and gives up. My worst moment would be, I've been knocked out a couple of times, but one of the times I was trying to impress my girlfriend at the time, and I got my helmet turned 90 degrees and I was out like that before I hit the floor. The worst injury I sustained was probably when I was fighting somebody who was unarmoured, and he hit me on the shoulder with a quarterstaff. We still have no idea what actually happened to the day, but at the time the medical professionals thought I dislocated it, and I was screaming whilst they were trying to get me out of my armour, because you have to lift up your arms to take off the mail. At the time I had long-armed mail, so it was really hard to pull off, and lifting my arm up when my arm didn't want to go up was really quite harsh. So now we're armoured up. You're probably wondering how we fight each other. I have a few toys to show you, but they're all good fun. First, on the end of the table there, you've got an axe. Axes are generally peasant weapons because people had access to them. They're for chopping wood, not for chopping friends, but if you use it hard enough you could probably do that too. Second thing along there is a bastard sword, known for its being able to be used two-handed and one-handed. Quite a long sword, well known for using as tournaments. It's an arming sword, used one-handed. Swords were a status symbol in the medieval times. People who had a sword had money to do it. Most weapons used by peasants were farming tools, bill hooks, axes and stuff. Next thing along here is a warhammer, or they were used to disable knights. Hitting a joint on a knight and breaking it would stop them being able to use that piece of metal. So if that went in on my shoulder here, I wouldn't be able to bend the arm anymore. Could be very deadly, not being able to move anything. The last thing I've got here is a flail. They make a lot of noise, they're great for tournaments. Anything which has a chain on it was known as a flail. And if there was no chain and they're just a piece of metal in the end, it was known as a mace. And they make a lot of noise and they're good fun. Time to have some fun.